soon. Okay, all of that. Currently, we have TDB and BIRAC who are secondary fund managers who can do that. Next slide, please. So RTIs also, the money is not a subsidy, it is a capital program. So the difference between capital and a subsidy or an incentive program, first a grant program or an incentive program is where money is given out, but it is as part of a cost share or incentive or as a granted aid. These are the mechanisms. Whereas when you give a capital program, you expect the capital back in some way. Suppose you do a loan, you expect the loan back. If it is some sort of optional convertible debenture, it could convert to an equity, some form of an instrument that goes on a balance sheet. There's some returns are expected, and you expect your principal and returns, but it is possible that there are risks that are associated. So this is a way in which the government of India is de-risking early stage translation and scale up and commercialization of this, and also allowing an asset class to emerge so that there is more capital that we capitalize that can invest in this. So that's how there will be more money available for deep tech startups and for science-driven startups, technology-driven startups in these areas. So therefore, to make sure that the money goes in these particular sectors, we have identified what are called sunrise sectors, new sectors. It is not meant to be for what we call routine R&D. To make small incremental innovations on a routine basis. It is meant to be for more disruptive or for breakthrough or those sorts of R&D. That is the nature of what we try to do in RDI. So that's the philosophy of how the thing has been written up. So again, RDI, some of the areas that may not be obvious from this short slide, you should go to the full definition of these sectors and subsectors. That gives more detail. For example, critical raw materials processing, critical minerals processing, or advanced manufacturing. All of these are come across as subsectors or sectors elsewhere. Okay, and these things can change over time, but the approach of changing that has to be approved by the empowered group of secretaries, chaired by the cabinet secretary. Next slide, please. So there are also liberalized or special financial rules for DIF implementation guidelines. This allows such a scheme to be put together. So it is also further innovation in how the overall rules for such things operate. So the rules then form a framework for all of these things. Okay, next slide, please. So the rest of ANRF, beyond RDI, is more of a granting program, and here again we have broad-based horizontal programs and then vertical programs. Okay. Horizontal means it's much more broad-based. It is supporting bold fundamental research, basic research, use-inspired basic research, all of these things. And of course some particular people-oriented investments such as postdoctoral fellowships, Ramanujan fellowships, etc. And then we have more vertical or mission mode research, and also impact centers, translational centers, societal impact things, and also other catalytic things that we are attempting to do. And you can think of this as more directed research and innovation. So on one hand, I don't tell innovators what to do, they tell us what they would like to do, and when we evaluated by committee of peers, etc., and various levels of such committees, and then we make decisions on that. It is to build foundations for deep science, for deep tech. You can think of this as more like how National Science Foundation operates, and the vertical is more directed. You can think of these as analogies, DARPA type things, which are more pipeline to RDI, all of government, all of society collaboration, and so on. And then as part of this, we are trying to attract various parts of the all of society, which includes companies, startups, MSMEs, other research labs and foundations, CSR, diaspora, etc. Some contribute capital, some are participating as collaborators, some are grantees, some are different roles, right? Some might bring some assets to the table, but the overall process and enabling all of this, and you should see this as part of our various sort of activities going forward. And I'll explain some of that as we go forward. Okay, next slide, please. Excellence, wherever it comes from. Okay, so our plans are all open. We are doing many steps we are taking in terms of our committee, to have committees to have more representation across institutions. We are limiting any single institutions influence on committees, things like that. So at every stage So ANRF school is to also see different aspects. It is not like any institution can receive money, but it is any institution is eligible. In other words, it's a equality of opportunity, and it doesn't mean that at the end of the day the proposal's quality is to be improved. Right now, a natural question is that when there is less endowed institutions, how will they compete? When somebody is in a more endowed institution is less endowed. So we are acutely aware of this challenge, okay? But at the same time, we need to have just putting money randomly in different places is not the answer. So we have a program called the PAIR program where we have hubs that are mentoring spokes, and we have a mentorship-based approach that we are doing. So not only are we giving significant fraction of the budgets to 70% of the budget to the spoke institute. Business, we do have more ways to go. We've made a lot of improvements. We've done a lot of operationalizing of the processes, electronic processes, and making far more improvements, and that journey will continue. And also, we are being more responsive, and so I'm personally answering questions on social media. Some of you might have seen it. We're adding tools like Saral AI and so on to make researchers come out of their cocoons or hiding shells or ivory towers, sometimes as we say, to make help researchers become more social. They may not be experts in social media, so we are putting out AI tools and all of these. So all of these are composite set of things we're doing at the top level as an apex organization to help drive more of this. And over time we may do more selective things. Next slide, please. So many of our programs, therefore, sort of fit this puzzle. So we don't do programs randomly, right? We do programs that sort of fit this, and we have to be able to say, hey, my program is a set of horizontal things and a set of vertical things. And also some of our programs we have, stopped and said that DST is doing other things, so then let them do or let them expand their programs, or other entities might do. So as an apex institution, it does not mean that ANRF does everything. So other institutions or other line ministries are also doing things. ANRF as an apex organization provides strategic direction in those cases for these things, and these conversations I'm having is also part of the strategic direction and the information sharing that we're doing. Okay, think of this as the top, the roof of the house in this picture. Okay, next slide, please. So the good news is ANRF is on a growth path. Okay, we are like a startup. We are growing rapidly. Okay, and as you can see, all of these are actual dates when we launch the programs. If you can look at it in the shape, can you see it was looking like an S-curve? Okay, we are in the sort of rapid growth of this thing, and you can imagine that it will continue to grow like this. Okay, so for a long time to come. So there will be huge growth. It might be a little bit more linear. It can be as we get more resources, and do other things, you'll start seeing us grow more rapidly. So, but all the resources that we get is only for the community, right? So it's not like we have resources and we're keeping it inside ANRF. All our resources are going to be directed. Our goal is to be able to responsibly invest this, be able to govern it, make sure that whoever is giving the resource, if somebody donates some money towards ANRF towards go to some program, the money actually goes to that program. Everybody can see every rupee that they are putting in. At the same time, then they can ask what is the impact that has come out of the work. So we are putting together digital technology and capability to support all of this. So those are all part of the other ecosystem developing capabilities we do. Okay, next slide, please. So many of our programs are very competitive. So the good news is that there's a lot of hunger in the community to support, submit great proposals.